back to the next chapter in this Build a Megazord series. We are moving on to the next package, which does give us issues 64 to 74, and we're going to just continue with our build. So this month I did get the missing parts to the base, so that is coming along quite nicely. I'm not going to include it in the videos like I originally planned to, because it is literally just a circle and it is just putting together bits of a circle, so I didn't really see any point on it. I started putting it together, it does work, it looks quite nice. Hopefully it will come out looking good with the Megazord stood on it, but finding a spot for it is going to be very difficult. So really quickly, let's just show you where we left off last time. We did start off with no more movement with the Mastodon, but I believe we're going to be moving into a bit more of that. So we do have a head and part of the body. Still wingless with our pterodactyl. This is where we're at so far with the Saber-tooth tiger. Now I did receive some parts to redo the head so it matches the body. I'm not going to include them in the videos. I just don't see the point on just redoing more parts. So I'm just going to leave that out. And luckily this does just pop off. So for now, I'm going to just leave it on. And then when we got the new one, I'll just swap it over. So obviously you can see there is quite a colour difference. To be honest, I wouldn't have bothered me if they'd have just left it. In all honesty, I did just assume it was just because of the difference in the material. That was just what I was thinking with it. But if they're going to make it match, then even better, because you can obviously tell there's quite a big difference there. T-Rex is coming along quite nicely. We could just do with some legs now, so it'd be nice if we can get those. And finally, our Triceratops. So I don't believe we're going to be doing the other side of this one today, but I will be looking forward to adding some more to that at some point. Before we take a look at the bits included in this month, just want to take a minute to let you all know how much I appreciate you. If these videos are helping you in any way, then I'm glad that it's doing that, and I appreciate you all watching. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already and you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. And even if you just enjoyed the video, leave a little like. So moving on to issue 64. This one inside has a little character bio of the stag beetle. And these look like they're just more legs for the saber-tooth tiger. The character bio in this one is the flycatcher. We are continuing more again with the legs for the Saber-tooth tiger. Number 66 gives us a part of the body, and this part of the magazine tells us some information on the different musical instruments that it's used. It tells you a bit of info there about the dragon dagger, which makes a nice tune, and it's quite a good bit of information in that one. Number 67, again we're going to continue with the body for the Saber-tooth tiger. This one's about Tommy Oliver's weaknesses. So there's a bit about him losing his powers and all that kind of stuff in that magazine. So that's quite an interesting little read. I don't read all of these, I'm not going to lie. There is some interesting bits that I just have a little skim through. But then I just don't have the time to be reading through them as well as doing this and working and other stuff. So obviously I don't bother. But number 68. Now this magazine is more about some of the traps and stuff that the evil space aliens have used in the past, and how they get through all of those. And it does move us on to some of the leg for the Mastodon. Number 69 continues with that, and inside it has got some quite funny moments of Bulk and Skull, how they're trying to work out who the Power Rangers are, which I always enjoyed, and it was always part of the comedy for that. Now number 70 continues with that, and this one has a little bio of the Mirror Maniac in there. Number 71 sticks with the Mastodon, but it does move on to how the shoulder piece works, and this one is the introduction of the White Ranger. So there's the birth of a new hero. It just tells you a bit about that episode, which I really enjoyed. Number 72 continues with that, so this is more decorative pieces, and sticking with the White Ranger, some information there about the Megazord and Saber, so that's interesting. Everybody loves Saber and the Megazord, and if you don't, you're a liar. So as we move on to number 73, this one's a little bit about Trini's love story with someone called Richie. I really don't remember that, it must have been quite early on. I recognise the face, and I do remember him being in some of the episodes, but not having a massive part, and I could be wrong, absolutely could be wrong. But this one is more of the Mastodon, I believe, as it moves on. Oh. This one moves on to the hand, so you can see there we've got the hand for the Megazord. We're starting to get some bits for that, so that's really cool. That'll be a good indication just to show you how big the sword and everything's actually going to be. Finally, as we move to number 74, this one's got some more information about more of a side character. So I think that was Zach's cousin, and there was an episode about him playing the trumpet or something. That's all I really remember of him. There is a character bio in there as well, and it moves on to the Mastodon's back legs. So let's switch you around, start building this together and see what we're left with at the end. Kicking this off with number 64. I've got my Saber-tooth out, but I'm going to put just to the side because I don't think we're really going to need it just yet. I could be wrong, so I will have a little look. But this is just going to start to assemble some of the legs. And I do have to be a little bit careful because doing that base the other day, I did mash up my hand and I had it on the floor and I was kind of screwing it like that and it did ruin my hand, which really hurts. But anyway, let's get into doing this. So it says we are gonna just need some of these parts. So we're gonna start with this one and this one and this one, along with one of the screws. So let's just get them out. These have got some Loctite on them, so I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, so first off, we need this one and that one. We're going to turn it upside down and that should go on there like so. So that one clips on there, which does line up, so that's easy enough. And then lastly, we're going to want to put our paw underneath like so. So that should all clip together. Put a little screw inside there just to keep it all down. Now that's done, we want to grab one of these. We want the left side and then a little metal rotation pin or whatever that's called. It's just gonna go in the top here. And once we've done that, we want the silicone O-ring. You can hear the traffic outside, I apologize. It's a little bit warmer today and do have to have the window open while I do this. Okay, so our O-ring is gonna go on here. Then our foot's gonna face that way and sit on there like that. Now I'm gonna turn it around, put a little screw in there. Now that's in, we're gonna grab another one of these washers and that's gonna go just on there. And then we're gonna put the other side in to match. Make sure we can move that, which we can, so that's cool. And finally, just put one of these screws in the hole by the ankle. So that one just goes in here. And we just need another little screw in the top. So that one goes on that side, need to turn it around and put one in here. So this is a different screw. This is just the normal PV screw, which is the most common that you find in this build. And there it is, just another leg for our Saber-tooth tiger. Powering through to number 65, we're going to want to keep our leg that we've just done out. So I'm just going to lay that there, move that out of the way, have a little look through our magazine. And we're going to start attaching some wheels to this one. So we're going to need some bits off of here. So we need these two here. So I'm just going to pop them off. And for this side, we're going to want these two wheels here, so the more empty ones, just roll them off of there like that. Now grabbing this, you can see that there's two little holes in there for them to go in. Once we put them in, we're going to want to add these. So you can see there's a little notch here, which I'm assuming is going to line up with that one there, and then it should be in the right place. So yeah, that one goes in nicely. And that one should do the same, which it does. We're going to turn it over and attach the other side of the wheel. So this time, obviously, we want the ones that are left, the thicker ones. We're going to put some screws in there just to keep them together. I don't think, oh yeah, they've got a little notch on them as well, so you can see there. They're obviously going to line up with this. Once you've got them in, we're going to put some screws in a little tiny little hole in there just to keep them together. Once we've got that on, it's telling us to put these on and to drop a little bit of glue in there as well, or what they're saying is contact adhesive. But I'm just going to put some glue in there now rather than having them fall out. Then once we've done that and that is all secured down, we're going to grab this. And all it's telling us to do for this one is to just pop that in there. So we've got to make sure it's all the right way around. Put that in. Now I'm going to push it against the table so it goes in properly. And that's it. So we should be left with those two, that and that, whilst we move on. Alright, all the 6s are 66. This there's not much with this one, it's just this and 2 screws, so let's just launch that over there. Set that to the side for a minute, because what it's telling us to do is grab some of these bits. Why they couldn't have put that in the previous magazine, I have no idea. But it doesn't, so we're going to grab our left side, which you can see in there, there is an L, plus the bit that we've just done, and it is telling us that we want that to just fit in there like so. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the easiest one that I've done out of this entire build so far, which is really frustrating. But okay, so now we want our foot, and it's gonna go in here like so. Now that's lined up, we're just gonna finally grab this, and it's probably just gonna go on there like that. Would if I had it around the right way. Okay. So I think it's actually easier to put this side on first, so take that off, put that one on, and then you should be able to line that up a little bit easier. It was for me anyway, because now, there you go, it's on perfectly, and it's not so much of a pain to get on, because that just wasn't going before. Now it is, and it's moving, it's fine. We've still got a joint for our knee and stuff like that. So we're gonna just put a screw, which is telling us we want PB in this hole here. Now we want to grab this bit, and it's telling us that we want it to go that way, and we should have it lined up like that. Now I've put a screw in there, it should leave one empty at the top. It's saying a smaller hole, which I'm assuming is that one, so I can only hope that it's correct. But yeah, that should be okay. I'm sure it'll tell me if not later. So before I close it up, I'll just make sure that there is a screw in there. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Hopefully that'll do that for us. And number 67, so this is going to just assemble the side of the Saber-tooth tiger. So we are going to need to bring that one in, which I've done. And then it's telling us to grab this side, which we want to turn him around. So let's just do that. And hopefully I've done all right on this, but we'll see, I guess. So if I can slot that on. Then we want to clip these in at the bottom just to make sure that's all together. Now that's popped into place, we want some screws. Let's move that light out of the way. And they're just going to go into these 2 holes here just to keep all that together. So now that's screwed together, we're going to move him aside and just grab the bit that we did a second ago. And let's bring in that one back in. And we're going to pop these just onto that. We're going to start by putting this one in here, put a drop of glue in there because it's telling me to put some contact adhesive. Just call it glue, come on. So let's do that. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. Just a tiny little bit, drop, drop. Hopefully it won't go anywhere it shouldn't be going, but we'll see. So there's those in there. And as I said before, we want to put this one in. This does need to go a certain way round by the looks of it. So I'm just going to work that out. Okay, and there it is. You can see there's a little lip there. So just line them up. That's all finished. Now we're going to attach him. So if I put it back as it should be. And we're going to attach that. So hopefully this goes well. Let's just see. So I think that bit's it should just go in. So that does, and again, this seems to be easier just to pop the leg out rather than doing it their way. So there's that. Now we want to find a load of PB screws and start popping them in. We want 3, so one should be up here, one here, and I believe one at the top up there. Now that's all secured with our screws, we're just going to decorate it a little bit. So here's our decorations, making them look all pretty. And so you may or may not need glue, I don't know yet. So let's just see what happens. That's going to go on there like so. Doesn't seem to need any, so there's that, that's cool. Now we want a little semicircle, which is gonna go down here. These are all pretty self-explanatory, really. You can see the shape in the dinosaur, and kind of easy just to know where they're gonna go. Lastly, we want this one, and that's just gonna go on there. So there we are, looking nice. We do have another piece as well, Let's see where we go with that one. That just goes around here. There we go. So it does show you a really nice part of how it's going to look. Let's move on to the next one. Now the Saber-tooth tiger is out of the way, we're just going to move on to the Mastodon. So this is number 68. Shouldn't be too much to do in this one, and a lot of these are little bits, so we are going through this quite nicely, or at least easy bits, easy for me anyway. So we're going to need that one and this one, as well as some of our screws, and we should be able to just easily put that on there like so. So I'm just going to whack a screw in there quick and come back. And now that's in there, we want a rubber washer, which is just going to go in here. And then having that bit facing the back, we should be able to line that up to go inside there. Finally, to finish this bit off, we want some of these. And that's going to hold that bit in there. That's it, so that finishes that bit off. Let's move on to number 69. Number 69, we're going to do the same sort of thing again really. So this is obviously the other side. We're going to want to attach one of them to here. So it should be the other side of the clip, I'm guessing. He's showing that that little lip bit needs to be against this, so that should be okay. I'm just going to screw that down quickly. Now that one's in, we're just going to attach this. So that one goes on there like that. I don't think there's any particular way around. It does just go in, but it is showing it needs to kind of go. Yeah, that's not really going to matter. So finally, we're just going to add some of our little black screws into there. And that finishes off with that issue. So let's move on to another one. Right, here we are at number 70, which means we've only got like 50 to go maybe, which obviously means we've got like 4 or 5 more months, so we'll probably receive another one this month and then 4 more months left after that and we should be done. So I'm thinking Christmas it'll be finished, maybe, hopefully, just in time to not have to keep spending out on this anyway. So let's move on to it. We're sticking with the Mastodon leg, and we're going to want the one with the clip in, which was that one. So with this bit, and this is showing that we're going to want to attach a little, I don't know, articulation piece or whatever it is to that. So we're going to put that through the hole like that and screw it down. Now that's screwed together, we just want to get the other silver piece, which is going to go on the back like that, I believe. So, and again, we're just going to put some more of the silver screws in there just to keep that together. Now that's screwed together, we're going to put that aside just for a minute. I don't believe we're going to need that one for now, so I'm just going to leave that there. And we're going to bring in these bad boys. So I'm going to just make sure that they are poking around the right way, which is showing we need them to go that way like so. They're tough, you know, might have to spray them up with something, but so let's turn it around like it's asking us to. Now we're going to want to put in some of this articulation pieces for it. I'm going to grab this and it should just go inside there. This is going to be a bit of a pain to get in, so I'm going to just push it against the table real quick. So now I've pushed that against the table, we could see it coming out, and that's it, finished. We are left with this clip. I can't see anything in the photo here that is saying that it should be left over, but there's nothing in the magazine to show that it goes anywhere. So let's just move on to 71 and find out. So number 71, let's move on to that. Not a whole lot to it, just part of the shoulder thing, I think it is. So we're gonna start attaching that. It's very stiff, you know, it is metal. I expected that to be plastic, which probably would have made a bit more sense. We've got a couple of screws there, so we're probably just going to attach that on, get rid of that, look at our magazine and see how we go. So we want this one, as well as the bit that we've just made before. So it should be this. So not the one that we've just put all the bits in. We're going to want to face him forward, and it's going to go on the other side. So let's just make sure it's flip round that way. And okay, so now that is on, we just want to grab our other piece. So there's that, And this is where we're going to use the clip that I wasn't too sure where it went last time. So this is going to, we just make sure that it goes the right way around. Okay, so I just realised I put that the wrong way around, so let me just go and do that. I never do these and not get it wrong, so give me a second, I'll show you what I mean. So this is the bit I was talking about. Obviously, I've done it wrong. So now that is in the right place, I'm gonna just attach this little bit in here, which goes, there's a little clip in there. Now we're gonna want this one. You can see there it's already got the bar in it, so we should be able to just pop it in. So all we do is using this bit here, we're gonna place that inside there like that, and it should just slide in. So there we go. You can see it's actually got a little gap in there. Inside here there is a little lip, so it does actually have to go a certain way. It can't just freely roll around, so bear that in mind when you do that. So that's in. We don't need to put any screws in that, but we're gonna bring this one back in now and start attaching that. I'm gonna lift you up a little bit actually, and just move it back. So let's see. If I move that round to the back, so we can line up this little bit here with our clip, and it should stay together like that. Do the same on the other side. There we go. So that's in now. Connect the screw posts on the left inner with those on the right cover. Okay, so I didn't do that, so we need to connect that to that, and then it should all slide in and stay in. There we go. That's better. There it is. So now we've done that, I'm going to turn it around, and we're just going to pop some screws in because we need one up here and one here, and then that should be it for this magazine. Ta-da! There we go. It's all on. It's looking pretty good actually, so we should be able to at some point cover up bits of that or whatever. I don't know. It must go in somehow, but all going around here like that. But anyway, that's it for now. So let's move on to our next one because we're moving really nicely through that Mastodon. Number 72, once we've done this, we've only got 2 more left out of this package. So we're going to start decorating him a little bit. You can see there we've got some nice decoration pieces for him to make him sort of look a bit more like the Mastodon. So firstly, we're going to take this and we're going to start to add in some of these bits. So firstly, we want to just make sure that we've got the right side, which that one is obviously not. So we're going to pop that one on first. It may or may not need some glue. I don't really know yet. Obviously, if it pops out, then I will glue it. It has popped in nicely. You could hear a little click there, so I should imagine it'll be all right, but time will tell, and worst case, I can just open it through there and just put some glue on that side, so it's trying to dig them out with a screwdriver or something like that. So there's that done. That looks really nice. I like that color. That's cool. Now I'm going to put that to the side for a minute because we just want some bits out of here. And firstly, we're going to just dig through what we've got. So we need that. And this bit here, we're going to put them together. So it's showing that we want that to sit around like that. And then I'm going to assume that just is going to be straight. I'm going to, again, as always, push it against the table so we know that that is in right. And it pops out the other side, look. So now that's done. We want this part, and then that's just going to go in there like so. So we're just going to put that in there like that. There's that one. Now we're going to grab the bit that we've just done and open him up. So that should lift up like that, and then in here I'm going to pop that in there like that. We're going to turn that around, so there's that one. Okay, so this is going to be the other half of that. That makes sense. We do want some screws for the other side, so I'm just going to go and whack a couple of screws in that quickly. So now they're in. It does feel right. It feels fine. I don't think I've done anything wrong there. But anyway, let's just move on and hope that it's all right. We're going to want this one. That's just going to pop in here. They do go slightly different angles, so it should just cover over there. Definitely not going to need any glue for that, and that just seals up the holes. So that looks nice and tidy. Let's just attach these on so that one goes on here somehow. Now this is where we're going to need these ones. So this should fit on top and keep that all together. So that one's going to go in here. So making sure that that goes around the right way, we should be able to slide that in once we turn that way. Then we're just going to put a little screw in there to finish that off. Number 72 finished. You can see we're going to be able to put a hand in there, which we know that we've got coming, so hopefully we'll be able to put that in there and hide it. Let's get on with that. Move on to number 73. We're nearly there, guys. Number 73, 74 up next, and then that'll be it. But for now, let's just do this hand. And again, as I usually will tell you, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. I have got more videos coming. I'll be reviewing the Playmate stuff, the Dragon Dagger coming, as well as the Morpher and the Blade Blaster, which I will be reviewing this week. So again, if you want to see those, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But for now, we're going to continue with this. So it looks like we're going to need these, and we're just going to pop them together. So it should go around that way. So there's that. Looks like we've got a finger there. And next up, we're going to grab one of these. So it should be this one. And we also want, so we want this one. We want to get our finger in, or whatever that is, finger or thumb first, then put that one on. So there we go. Now we're going to screw that down with some screws that come with this, and we're going to want the ones with the little heads on, which they all seem to be the same. Now we've done that, we're just going to set that aside and grab some of these bits, as well as this. Just set that down for a second while I take these off of here. And we actually want these rubber bits this time, so apologies for that. And they're going to need to go in here somehow, so it looks like they're... So if we hold that bit flat like that, that should go in there. So there's that in there. I'm going to put that inside there, close that up with a couple of screws. Now that's done. So this looks like a lot, but it's not. So don't worry too much if it looks a bit daunting, but we're going to grab the bit that we had before. So this is the bit that we've been making. Then holding it that way around, it's going to go in there like that. Now we are going to grab this bit, and it should just go on there like that. I'm going to put 3 screws in those holes. So now them screws are in, I'm just going to set that aside, and we're going to start on some of the fingers. So let's just grab them, get them out. I'm going to lay them out like they are in the magazine in the hopes that that may help me a little bit more. So that one should go with that one, like that. And now we want that one with that one. Now there should be some numbers on the back of your things. So 1, 2, 1, 2. It should go on that one. And we want the number 1 for this one. They all do seem to be lining up so far, so it's a good sign. Then we want number 2. I don't know why I got that stuck in my head. That's fingers done. So now we are going to have to try and get them to sit together. Should look like we're going to add that one and that one together. And we're going to add that one into here. So we want the one with the hole. And lastly, the one with the pin. Okay, now we're going to grab this. We're going to just attach them in like that. So there's that. Nice size hand, that is. So let's grab this one. Put that over there, I believe. That closes that up nicely. And we're going to screw that down. So let's go and do that. Now that's together, we're going to pop that on. Doesn't say that we need any glue, so yeah, it just goes in nicely. Very nice. And there we are. So that's our first fist that we've got. Looks quite cool. You can give it some sort of articulation there. So yeah, really nice little fist. Obviously you can see it's a nice size as well. So let's move on to the last one for this bundle of issues. Right, so we're finishing off this episode with number 74. So we're going to bring our Mastodon back in that we were playing with earlier. So we need that bad boy. I'm going to lift that up so it's out of the way. It's a little bit annoying because it's very back heavy at the moment because we've got no feet. But we're going to put some feet on it. So let's attach this bit because this is what we're going to need. It is wrapped up nicely. I have no idea why, but perhaps just to not scratch the other bits, who knows. So you've got to be a little bit careful with this die-cast stuff because it scratches really easy as well. But anyway, we're going to put it this side and it's going to attach onto this bit here. So let's take a look at how we do that. And it's saying that we want, I think we're going to want that little lip in there. So let's try and get that in. Yep, so that's in. Now we're going to want a screw, which they're saying is KB. So there's that one. Now we are wanting some more bits. This one, I'm not going to lie, it looks and feels a little more complicated than what we've had so far. I feel like we've been quite lucky with this one. So we need these ones to start with, and they're both the same. So let's just grab one for there. Now we're going to need our foot. So that goes upside down like that. So I'm going to put that one in. I believe it goes that way round. Well, so that's a bit more of a pain than I thought because I just couldn't sort of understand what was going where. I believe it goes like this. So again, as I always say in my previous videos, this isn't necessarily a how-to. This is more of just my journey. So don't necessarily use it as a guide. If it helps you, then great. But otherwise, don't just necessarily copy it. So I'm going to put another screw in there, just to keep that together. Now I believe this is right, and again if it's not, apologies. So it's now showing that we need to flip this bit up and put that inside there, which makes sense because now we do actually want to put our fist in. So we're going to put it. And if you struggle with how it goes, I would just open it up so you can see which way the shoulder bits go, and then it'll give you a bit of an indication on which way around the fist goes. So once we've turned that round to go the right way round, it is telling us to sort of tuck it like this, maybe. Now we want to try and get the other side on, so we're gonna need, so we're gonna put a silicone washer in there again, and see if we can get that one in. Massive apologies there, guys. My camera died and I closed this up and didn't realise it actually died. So that one's just placed in there. But anyway, we've closed all the foot up, put the bottom on and whatever. Don't forget to put that little red bit in before you close this up. And that's what we've got so far. So you can see in there, we've got our fist. And it does actually hold the Mastodon's head on with this clip. So obviously we're going to do the same on the other side and be able to have it on. Hopefully soon we'll be able to just finish that last leg and obviously close up the side of that as well. And that should be finished. So I don't think that one will take too much long. But at the same time, we've still got quite a few issues left. So we will see. That's it for this episode of the Build a Megazord. This is what we've done so far. You see how huge this thing is actually going to be. We've got a saber-tooth tiger here where we've added this bit to the end along with another leg. So just another side and the tail left to go on that one now. We've also got our Mastodon. Obviously we're just missing a leg and a side just to close that bit up. But you can actually now attach the head on the back. So we've got our clips there. It does attach on. I'm not going to bother, but you can again see how big that one's going to be as well. So huge Megazord. I can't wait to see this done. Stick it on that stand and let that all light up nicely. And as I said before, some more reviews coming within the next week as well. So I've got lots of Playmate stuff coming. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see them. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.